hear from our winning company, how they benefited from the training sessions. So with so much hard work, so much effort, we are putting together these sessions, and there will be, more sessions also will be added to this. Hopefully, we are still working on bringing more value to all of you. And I encourage, every chapter to please, take special interest in writing to your winning team to attend and provide the feedback. So if they are looking anything more than that we are already offering, and we would love to, bring those resources in. And you please also, recommend anything that you feel will add, more value to our, the program. So the whole idea is to see that we are trying to mentor and provide coaching and, connect all the winning teams with a TiE network. So we're giving away free membership in the chapters. Several chapters are giving that. And I hope all the chapters will also give them free student membership so that they become part of our network. So that is a whole, idea about this. And I wish each and every team all the best. Will be over to, Pradeep.
Thank you so much, Ravi. It is now my pleasure to call upon to speak Dr. Paul Lopez, who's probably the father of this program, along with Subbu Perichella from TiE Hyderabad, to give you an insight into this particular competition, as well as into the whole idea of TiE University for collegiate entrepreneurship. Dr. Lopez, all yours.
Thanks, Pradeep. Are you sharing screen? Because I'm seeing it in a window, but I'm not sure what others are seeing. So.
Everyone can see it on a window. So we have spotlighted those two windows so that they can see you and the window as well.
Okay.
Just go to speaker mode. If you go to speaker mode, you'll be able to see that. Yeah. All of you, if you can just put yourself on speaker view in your view option, then you can see both the screens.
Awesome. We're entering year number 4 of the TiE University Pitchfest, but as you'll hear, it's more than a competition. This year, you've all participated. You are the 90 best teams of the 1,453 teams that have applied from 30 plus countries. We're working with over 3,600 students. We actually have something we're going to announce for all teams, irrespective of whether you made the top 3 teams in your particular chapter. We're working with over 400 colleges. We set ourselves a strategy to get to 400 colleges and university by next year. We've already hit it, and you'll see that I believe we are from every continent. So if anybody here has a friend or buddy who wants to be an entrepreneur from Antarctica who's not a penguin, please bring them into the family in the fold. But otherwise, you can see we are truly global. And why do I say this? Because you don't know today, but maybe next month, next quarter, you might meet a co-founder, somebody who can help you with a customer, somebody who could help you be a CTO, somebody who could help reduce your cost structure. So that's why we cover this as being more than a competition. So welcome to year 4 of the global competition. And we say competition, but welcome really to the family of TiE University program. Back to you, Ravi.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Lopez.
One more thing is, it got started 9 years ago in Atlanta as a statewide program. It got started about 5-6 years ago by Hyderabad, and there they call it TiE Grad. So Subbu and I have been actually on this program, seeing how we continue to bring offerings to all of you. Subbu, thanks for being a great partner.
Subbu, if you're on the call, can I invite you to probably address everyone for a minute on how you looked at it from the Eastern perspective of running a similar program in Hyderabad, and both of them coming together to form this global program called TiE University. Subbu, I think Subbu has logged off. No issues. So let me remove spotlight and let me check speaker view. Wonderful. So let me give you a broad vision of what TiE is in the words of Bill Gates, who said, your work is essential to fostering innovation and creating a better world. I think the creating a better world summarizes everything that TiE does with the honest intention of trying to promote entrepreneurship. We are all volunteers here. All these people that you see with the C in front of their names are volunteers who are each a a winner in their own lives, in their own businesses, or successful entrepreneurs who have just come back so that they can give back to society and pay it forward. So what are we going to do today in the next 40 odd minutes is we will take a look at the journey so far, primarily to understand how this program has evolved in the last 6-7 months. So you all get to see some insights into how it has worked in other different cities apart from where you are from. We'll look at the journey ahead. What is in store for each of you in the next 45 odd days till we reach the finale of the competition. But more importantly, what's in store for you over the next 5 years, 10 years, for the next 20 years as an entrepreneur. We will also give you some insights into what is it that really counts, what are the important things that you have to remember in the next 45 odd days that you're part of the competition, some milestones with respect to the success of your startup that could help you in terms of the workshops that we have lined up for you, in terms of mentoring that we have lined up for you, and of course, some global events where you will get access as a part of this cohort. And of course, to hear it from the horse's mouth, so to say, we have invited two young company founders, one from the Western hemisphere of the world, from Houston, from Dallas, and the other one from Mysuru in India, to share with you their journey. So now can I request Aryan to put the video? So, one second, Aryan. Yeah. Those of you who want to get these slides are easily accessible in a view mode at bit.ly/TiE-U-PCA April 5. I repeat, bit.ly/TiE-U-PC, which is pitch competition, April 5. Now that you're part of the TiE family, it's very easy to remember things with TiE. All the bit.lys are TiE-U PC, and then whatever you want. If you want the blue book, then it's the TiE-U blue book. So it's as simple as that. Note that down. Aryan, why don't you put the video on so we can take people on a journey of... Yeah. Yes. Veera, can you get your video on? Done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can someone give me a thumbs up to say they can hear audio? No? No, it's still off. All the teams, you can raise your hands up and put your collars up for being part of the top 30 in the world. These are all the competitors from this current cohort that you are all part of. So you can see your photographs now. Cool. I hope that was invigorating, if not anything else. There are some hands raised. May I request you to put all your questions onto the chat, as we have a Q&A at the end of the call where you can unmute and speak. But for now, if there are any questions, please do put it on chat. And my colleagues Ravi Brahmbhatt from Houston, Ravi from TiE-U, Dr. Lopez from Atlanta will answer them. Where is my slide? Let me add it to my spotlight.
The raised hand was mostly because you said raise your hand or raise your collar, one of the two.
Oh, okay. Now you're making me eat my words. Okay, I got my foot in my mouth now. Wonderful. So I said put your collars up for those of you who have made the top 30 in the world. Like someone put on the chat right now, you're all already winners. The very fact that you have decided not to go the employment route, not to sit for the campus placements, but to try to become an entrepreneur and change the world in your own small way says that you are a winner. And I'm so proud to be in your company today. Entrepreneurship is not a job title. It is a state of the mind of people who want to alter the future. That's what Guy Kawasaki said. And I think that's so true for each one of these 120 odd people sitting on this call today. Your purpose is to change the world, make the world better, make the future better, not only for yourself, but many other people. And that's what makes you a special breed called entrepreneurs. Right now, what I want you to do is to go to your chat box and put in one single word that describes how you feel today being part of this global cohort. Yes, you will get the video as well, Aisha Agarwal. We are also streaming this on the TiE-U YouTube channel, so you can go and watch the video of the recording of this whole video as well there. One single word that tells me how you feel today. From the competition perspective, of course. Yeah. Not from a very personal perspective. Happy, excited, fueled, wonderful, grateful, wonderful, engaged, thrilled, pumped, happy, ambitious. I saw that there's one Spanish friend, so I'm looking for the Spanish word. Mahendra Naik says, great. Gentleman from cold Toronto. International vibes. Wow, okay. Fulfilled. Proud of our semifinalists and winners. Thank you so much, Laurie. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Wow, that sounds some word like Captain Haddock would say in Tintin. Opportunistic. Okay, alegre. Alegre. Hola, senor. Dr. Lopez. Senor Lopez, you'll have to tell me what does alegre mean.
In the meantime, while people are putting it in, we're going to launch a poll both at the beginning. It'll be the same poll now and at the end. So please also use your keyboard for answering the question on your screen. So I'm going to ask somebody to give me a thumbs up if in fact you're seeing a question. I think I see answers coming in. We're going to test your understanding of the program both now and at the end of our hour together. Bell-shaped curve showing up. Yeah.
Okay.
But you continue.
I think I'm the host, so I can't see the poll. Yeah, that's okay. Cool. Wonderful. So the first point that we wanted to make, this is where the real orientation starts today, is to tell you we are here to help. The whole idea is to help you from a very short-term, mid-term perspective, and also to help you from a very long-term perspective in your journey as an entrepreneur. Short-term, what we want to do is to see if we can chisel you and fine-tune you and your idea and your company to be able to present your ideas at the global stage. Of course, only the top team from each chapter will be able to present it on the global stage. But all the 90 teams, you get all the benefits of networking, of being part of workshops, being part of boot camps, so that you can reach out to people. You can reach out. Someone said they're getting an international vibe. You have now access to friends from other countries and other states and other cities who could be your potential co-founder. So use this opportunity to reach out to them and get more insights into it. How do you reach out to us for help? And when we say help, it could mean that I have this particular technology that I am working on, and I need someone who can guide me whether I am on the right track or no. Or the help could be saying that, hey, I've done my pitch deck, but maybe I think something is missing. Can you help me? And we will try to reach out to our cohort of mentors across the world and see if we can bridge the gap and help you there. How do you reach out to us? We have a 24/7 office that's always on. The TiE University Project Management Office is easily accessible at university@tie.org. We promise you that you send a mail and within the next 12 hours, you will have a reply in your inbox. Maybe we might solve your problem, maybe we may not solve your problem, but we will have the answers, and together we will try to see if we can solve your challenge. Subbu, I think Subbu was on the call again. Yeah, Subbu is back. Subbu, can you unmute yourself? Wait, I'll have to make Subbu co-host. Make co-host.
While he's doing this, I'll share
Yeah.
the results of the poll.
Yes.
So we have a bell-shaped curve of people's understanding. So in the next half hour, 45 minutes, Pradeep, we've got some work to do to move the bell-shaped curve to the right. So that's
Absolutely.
the current answer from the 70 people that got polled. Back to you,
Wonderful.
Subbu. Welcome.
Thank you, Subbu. Subbu is one of the co-fathers of this program, so to say. While Dr. Lopez was running the program in the Western Hemisphere, Subbu was running a similar program called TiE Grad in Hyderabad, and that's how the whole concept of TiE University came upon. So, Subbu, can you enlighten the audience on what made you think of this? And of course, the next slide, also, I would like you to speak on what are the benefits of a student being part of this ecosystem.
Yeah, thanks, Pradeep. First of all, I don't believe in co-fathership, honestly. It just happened when Paul discussed about how can we make it global. That's how it started, and later Ravi, Vivek, you each and every one part of this are becoming. There are multi-fathers to TiE University, right? Okay, good. Thank you. So, see, one quick. If you ask like what made it right, so. We believe entrepreneurship is something which can make the future of any country or probably across the globe, right? So we keep talking about it when last 2 years, entire world is talking about vaccinations for the virus that is getting spread, but we do want to spread one virus called entrepreneurship across the globe, no matter without any vaccination for the entire life system, right? That's how we looked at it, to inject virus of entrepreneurship to younger generation, by which the students can become entrepreneurs while they are having their graduation, post graduation, and continue that journey. That's how we looked at it to be as a support system and ecosystem in parallel to a few of the other activities that are happening across the globe, right? So that being said, the essence is how can we help students to become entrepreneurs? Being TiE is known as a global organization where all of us actually are available to foster entrepreneurship. Why can't we generate entrepreneurs? That's how it started, Pradeep. The best benefit, in my opinion, I know you described 9 benefits. Overall, talking about it, the center and the best thing that which we can offer as TiE is the mentoring / coaching, whatever we call it as, right? So all the charter members of TiE are the entrepreneurs and who might have done entrepreneurship for once, twice, or thrice in their life, and those are the people who will come forward and try giving that experiences and expertise to the younger generation. That's what is mentoring and coaching. That is the center of the overall ecosystem, right? So how do we impart that to students? As you spoke about in the other benefits like boot camps, entrepreneurship workshops, and getting opportunities for the students to work with the entrepreneurs through internships, and people come talk about their speakers across the globe come talk about their journeys. These are going to be certain activities through which the community and the seekers can get learned and benefited out of it. And whenever there is an opportunity like this, unless it is gamified with some competition, I think students may not be able to. I know Ravi was mentioning about the prize money and we were talking about it, but prize money is just one of the very minimal things that we wanted to do. The actual value is coming from the overall ecosystem that we are trying to present through our fellow colleagues in the TiE, who are all charter members across the globe, through mentoring and coaching, right? The scholarships and prize money is just one of the things. And as I wanted to conclude it by saying each and everyone who are here are winners already. And whoever will win the prize money, he will just get the money. But, all of you will get one thing very equally, is the mentorship and the possibilities of opportunities. And adding to that, as Pradeep was mentioning about, there are few companies have already made it big in terms of raising money or getting acquired or, making some news across. If you go back and say, not all of them are winners, right? They're all part of TiE University. So it's not just the winner, like everyone have equal opportunities in the realistic world about building your own businesses. That being said, I wanted to congratulate each and everyone here, and my best wishes to every single team and every single individual of our colleagues of charter members here. Thank you so much, Pradeep.
Thank you so much, Subbu. Assalamu alaikum, Naeem. Naeem is our bootcamp mentor and facilitator. He will be speaking to you sometime. Naeem, I see that you are driving. Would you like to speak now, or would you like to speak after you park your car? Please let me know.
Let's keep going. I think. Yeah, let's keep going.
I made your co-host Naeem. You can speak. Wonderful. Like all the gentlemen before me were telling you, this is more than just a competition. Although you are all part of a competition, an event called a pitch competition, but primarily the purpose is to create an overarching ecosystem. When I started my entrepreneurship journey and failed in my first 2 entrepreneurial ventures, I realized that probably I failed because I had no one to go and ask for. So what we are trying to build at TiE University is to create those people whom you can reach out and ask help for. And I think that's the most important core objective of TiE, is to create mentorship as the central part. As part of the overall activities, we have hackathons that happen twice a year. We have multiple workshops running across the globe, both virtually and in person as part of chapter events. And then, of course, we have this competition where you can also win equity-free cash prizes, pretty large numbers of cash prizes. There are opportunities for you to work as interns with some of the entrepreneurs whom you meet in the network. You get a strong alumni network with whom you can network, saying that, hey, I am a TiE-U alumni and I would like to network with you the same way you would network with your alumni in your alma mater. But most importantly, and this is a large transformation that we have made in the last year with 2 events called the Demo Day or the Pitch Days, where we have now made collegiate entrepreneurs have access to investor money and given them a platform. So many of you, even if you don't reach the finale of this competition, you could have a great startup and you could have access to investors who can put in money into your business. Action item number 1, if there are any team leaders here, you need to fill out the finalist team information form. You would have seen a form that we had sent it to you by email as well, a form where you need to give in details of all your team members. The primary purpose of this exercise of filling the form is to help the PR team create PR around you and your team. Your posters will be circulated across the TiE network of almost 18,000 entrepreneurs and beyond. And there's a possibility that some might be interested in what you're doing as a business and get back to you to help you out. So please do fill in the form. The short link is TiE FTI Survey 22, but you can, Harry from Oregon, the form is ideally due before end of day today, Tuesday. But maybe because some teams have probably not done it yet, we will extend it till end of day Wednesday. And we want you to fill in the details of all your team members and also the photographs of the team members so we can use it in all the PR campaigns that we're doing on your behalf. Dr. Lopez, if you could run everyone through this part of the slide, and then I will take over again, and then we can have Naeem joining it. Dr. Lopez?
That survey is due from all 90 teams. We're trying to work to ensure that you have a better understanding of entrepreneurship. So far, you have really been connected with your chapter till today. You've gone through mentoring, you've gone through a local competition. Congratulations on being one of the top 3. We hope in the gray box on the top, you'll stay connected. So this is not a short-term plan. And what we're taking over today for the next 6 weeks, the workshops you'll hear about, who's eligible, what the dates are, how do you sign up, what's the Zoom link, we'll answer all those questions shortly. We've also offered through the survey, for those of you who want to extend the mentoring that you've had, we've got about a half and a half set of answers. We'll connect you up according to what you asked for. And then to the right of the dotted line, we'll speak to stuff that's happening in May. That will be available for 3 rounds, or what we call the mock rounds, semifinal rounds, and final rounds, which will be the top team per chapter. Again, we'll cover that in more detail. But I'm also pleased to tell you that we've conducted a demo day where we bring investors together to listen to the most investable college companies. So irrespective of where you finish, stick around, get connected, and I hope you will in fact be one of those companies that makes another part of our extended ecosystem in terms of investments. So that's sort of the calendar. Now we're going to explode this to where you see the detail. Back to you, Pradeep.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lopez. Looks like my friend Ravi says that the link is not working. Just 1 second. I think there's a typo. Ravi, just check TiE-U FTI survey 2022. Probably that's the reason that the survey link is not working. But anyway, for team leaders, the link is just an additional benefit to you to get access to the thing. You have been sent an email with the links there for the Google form to fill. Most of you, I think 48 teams have already filled them in. So the remaining 42 teams, you need to do that before end of day Wednesday. We will share the link again in a couple of minutes. Aryan, can you just check why the link is not working? Wonderful. So what's going to happen in the next 45 odd days? So there are two cohorts in this global cohort. One cohort is the group of 30 who are all the winners of their chapter competition. The second sub cohort is the 60 teams who are the first runner-up and second runner-up at your regional competition or the chapter level competition. So what's going to happen in the next 40 odd days for each of you is, of course, today we are at the orientation call. Over the next weekend on Saturday, which is the 9th of April, we will have a workshop on marketing. Let me move slides so it's easier for me to show a workshop on marketing and scaling up. The link to register for the workshop is there on the right side of the screen. You can use that link and register. The advisory is that at least one member from every team should try to attend the workshops. The idea is that we have put in a lot of efforts to get in expert speakers, but also those are the opportunities for you to ask your questions relating to the competition. The workshops are opportunities for you to network with your other students. You might find someone answering certain questions which may be beneficial to your startup, your company. So it's my sincere advice on behalf of the entire program to see if at least one member from each team can join the workshop. The next weekend, we have a workshop on the things that investors are looking at from your startup. 1 second. Yeah. This workshop will be conducted in two parts. One part for the East, which is India, Pakistan, and UAE, and the other part for the West, primarily because some of the financial aspects and the financial terms of the investment ecosystem differ among geographies. So the teams from India, Pakistan, and UAE, you can join the one, which is the session 1. The teams from the US and Europe, you can join the session 2. These two bit links will not work for the next half an hour. We're just in the process of making some minor changes, so please use them later on and register for these workshops in advance. You will be getting a mail with all these links once more in the next 24 hours. So please do keep looking out for your email. The third workshop that we have lined up for you is on 23rd, Saturday. The workshop will be conducted by Alec Walker and Karthikeyan Duraraj and yours truly. We will try to see if we can help you build a better pitch deck so that you can tell your stories better. My t-shirt reads presentation matters, and I have realized as part of my business that if you can present your idea better, the prospects of it getting bigger investments, the prospects of it getting bigger customers is always higher. The Bitleys, again, these two Bitleys also will not work for the next half an hour. So please do wait for half an hour till the call gets over, and then these Bitleys will work. And then the fourth workshop or the boot camp is the Startup Bootcamp primer that will be conducted by our colleague Naeem Zafar from Silicon Valley. Let me check if Naeem has stopped his car. I still can't see Naeem.
I'm here.
Wonderful.
I'm here.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Naeem, I'll put you on spotlight, and you could give an insight into what you're going to be covering in the primer, and what do the teams need to do for being participants of the primer. All yours, Naeem.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Good to talk to all of you. So I teach entrepreneurship at UC Berkeley for the last 15 years, and I've been charter member for 22 years. What we do in this first week in May, we're going to have 2 sessions in which we are going to get you investor ready. So the Startup Bootcamp will be offered twice, once on Monday. Paul will give you the details, and one on Thursday. It's a 3-hour-long session. And the idea is we want to get you investor ready. So we start by a 75-minute lecture, what do investors need to see? What exactly is in your executive summary and your pitch deck? That is how to express your business. What problem are you solving and who has this problem? So I'll be giving you that information with slides. And then we will break up into small groups of 4 teams, 5 teams per room, virtual room. It's all on Zoom. And we'll be paired with an experienced mentor who is could be an investor, could be an entrepreneur, could be a CEO. So you're going to then pitch with them. You work with them for an hour. They fine tune your presentation. Where are you lacking? How do you say things in a way that will be more impactful? And then each virtual room will pick one team to move forward to the final round. And then those final round is when you're presenting to a panel of investors. So we have 3 or 4 VCs or angel investors, and it will be a session. So basically in a 3-hour time, and they will pick a winner and a runner-up from that final group. A 3-hour session is highly packed information about what do you need to say to investors to get their attention? What do they need to see? How do you explain your story that will be impactful? So this is basically what we normally do in a whole semester at the university. I'm packing into a 3-hour session, and you're going to hear multiple voices, not just my voice. Then you have the mentors, and then you have final judges. So I think between that, you're going to get a pretty good perspective how to fine tune your story. So that's Startup Bootcamp. You're also going to get 5 books about how to do market research, how to build a financial model, the legal aspect, and how to raise money. So these 5 books are part of the overall your tuition for the bootcamp. So let me pause here, answer any question, and Paul, you can of course interject.
Yeah, Naeem, because that has a limited set of slots and needs an application process because these will be with other startup companies, and we'll introduce that idea later this month. But all 90 teams that are part of today's program are going to actually get a preview through a primer. Can you speak to your intentions of what you will cover in the primer on May 1st, leading into the other regular bootcamp?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We'll publish the process for people to apply. So we're going to select the teams who are already have thought about the idea, they have made some progress, they are further along, and they can use more help for investors. Because in the first stage, you're trying to sort out your own mindset of what to do, what problem to solve. So the teams, we will come up with a 1-page application process. If you're further along, ready for investors, that's the one who will benefit most from the Startup Bootcamp.
We'll let people put items in chat, and if you can stick around for another 5-10 minutes, I know you're trying to run to another meeting. And if not, we can get answers to them later. Yeah. So thanks, Naeem. How long have you been doing Startup Bootcamp from Silicon Valley? This will be your number
7 years, yeah.
What kind of feedback do you get from the participants with their startups as they go through that bootcamp?
I think it sort of shakes them up because there's no time to waste. So you're going to hear things which are blunt but useful. So first time, some people don't like it because nobody gives you blunt feedback. And I do, because I know as an entrepreneur, there's no time to waste. So blunt feedback is sometimes hard to hear, but necessary to hear. So that's basically our style to give you all what you need to know to be successful.
Awesome. I think you're getting a lot of kudos. So I think a lot of it's about timelines. So we'll move to that. But Naeem, if you could stick around and just watch chat for about 5 minutes, I'd appreciate it. But thanks for always being so hospitable to our student teams.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Naeem. And we look forward to the students being part of it. So like Dr. Lopez said, the bootcamp primer is open to all the 90 teams, but the boot camps that will happen on 2nd and 4th of May will be right now open only to the top 30 teams. But some of the other teams, you could get access to it. And that is where attending all the workshops and being actively a member of the cohort, contributing not only to your learning, but to everyone's learning will help. I saw that Dr. Lopez, you put in a link to the survey, but that link is not the right one. That's the link to the chapter lead. So team leaders, this is what I want you to do. Please go check your mail. You would have got a mail from university@tie.org, which has a link where you need to fill in the details of all your team members and upload their photographs. 48 teams have already done it. I'm sure the rest of you can do it. The form that's been put on the chat, that's not the link, that's for the chapter. So please do ignore that. Wonderful. Apart from this, the culmination of this cohort in a medium term is that all of you get access to TiE-Con Silicon Valley, which is supposed to be the largest event for entrepreneurs anywhere in the world. In an ideal world, we would have all met in person in Silicon Valley, but sadly, thanks to the virus, we have to meet virtually. All the 90 teams, you will get passes, special passes, which gives you access to almost all events and activities of TiE-Con Silicon Valley because you are an alumni of the TiE-U program. The program then moves to the next leg where we have activities and events only for the chapter winners. So the chapter winners, you will need to upload your updated business model canvas and business plan summary before the 30th of April on the form. We will send you the link for that. Please do keep the team leaders. You will get all the email. So make sure that your team leaders are looking at their emails to constantly keep updated. Of course, we will also, when we send a mail, we will post it on the WhatsApp chat as cohort as well, and you can pick it up from there. Apart from that, as we said, the students who are the top 30 will get direct access to Naeem's bootcamp, which is on the 2nd and 4th. Please note there's a typo on the slide there. It's not 5th of May, it's the 2nd and 4th of May. And then what happens? Then we come to Champions League, the real battle between the champions, which is the top 30 teams. On the 8th of May, you will be given access to a mock round where you will pitch to judges and investors from across the world, but you will not be scored. The only objective is to give you immediate feedback. The second part of it is the semifinals, which will happen on the 14th of May, practically probably at the same time that we are speaking right now, so that it's equal for both ends of the world to join and it's easy. The semifinals, so all the 30 teams will be divided into 4 tracks and you will present to real judges who are also real investors, be scored on it and get scores. And the winning teams will then present at the finals. The shortlisted teams, so 2 from each track, so 8 teams will present at the finals or the finale of the TiE University pitch competition on the 15th of May, again in a virtual mode, and the winning team will take home $50,000 as equity-free cash prize. So get ready for the Champions League. Of course, please note the Champions League or the final leg of the competition is only for the top teams from each chapter. If you're the winner of the chapter, then you get to be an entry into the finals. The runners-up, please note that in case there's an opportunity that opens up because of the finalist team not coming in, there's a possibility that your chapter might consider pushing you to the finals, but that's subject to many conditions and ifs and buts. And that's the reason why we are also requesting you to be an active part of the whole competition. Let me then zip through all my slides. So as Woody Allen said, 90% of everything success in life happens by just showing up. So please do keep showing up, at least one member from the team, so you know what's happening around and what's going on in the competition. We have created this handbook, which can be your go-to book for everything. You might have already used it when you were going through the previous rounds at the chapter level. The bit.ly is bit.ly/TiE-U Blue Book. We've now come to the part which is like the core part, where you will get access to mentoring, not only from your chapter mentors whom the local chapter arranged, but you will also have access to mentors from the other chapters. But you have to reach out and ask. So like we said, if there's a specific area where you need help, please send a mail to university@tie.org and we will see if we can connect mentors to you. The guideline that we have given is to see if we can give each team at least 1 hour of mentorship per week. And we are working with various chapters and various entrepreneurs across the world to see if you can get that mentoring on a consistent basis. You will also have to fill in a mentoring form so we know what are the benefits of the mentoring and where we can tweak those things, which we will again share with you over the period of the next few days. So the judging criteria for the final competition will be on the basis of these criteria. All this is listed in the blue book. I've just put it on the screen to remind you that 20% weightage will be given to the business model canvas and business plan summary. Some chapters decided not to have the business model canvas and business plan summary as part of the regional competition, but at the global level, you will have to work on it. There are workshops, recordings relating to the business model canvas and business plan summary on the TiE University YouTube. The YouTube link is again pretty easy, bit.ly/TiE-U YouTube. So you can go to the link and watch the video recordings, not only of this year, but the recordings of the last year as well. The final pitch will be in this format. You will be presenting for 10 minutes and there will be a 5-minute Q&A round by the judges to score you. As we said, some of the things that are key for you to gain success is for you to have your business model canvas and business plan summary ready by the month end and to upload it on the 30th of April. We will send you the links. Please do not worry. Look at the email and you will get the links to submit those things. The second thing at the global stage is to see if you can perfect your pitch or create a pitch perfect. There is a easy to read, simplified version of the pitch deck on the blue book. You can click the link and also see the videos that are available on the YouTube channel. We already spoke about Naeem. Now we move into the Q&A session where you can put questions on the chat and the co-chairs and our other colleagues will answer them. For the resources that you need to do, as we mentioned earlier, one is the mentor that you have at your chapter. Reach out to them with all your queries and let them post them to the cohort, to the team at TiE University, and we will get back to you with answers. But if you need something very specific, reach out to us with email to TiE University, university@tie.org. It's my pleasure now to throw the room open for Q&A.
So, Pradeep, I have a quick announcement to make.
Yes, Ravi.
All the winning teams, there is a great opportunity for all of you to participate in TiECon held by Silicon Valley. So they are doing an innovative solutions contest. It's not similar to Pitchfest, but it is almost like a similar thing that you can do. If you are interested, you can participate. There is a $5,000 cash prize is given, and you also get a chance to present your solution to all the participants of TiE Silicon Valley and get access to the mentors and the coaches and all of that. So there is a Google form I'm going to share on the chart here. There will be an email also sent to all the teams. This is open to everyone, by the way, not just winning teams or anything. So I request all of you to also spread the good word and support the program. TiE University is one of the co-hosts for this solutions contest. So any questions you have, you can reach out to me directly on this, and there will be a separate email also will be sent. Thank you, Pradeep.
Thank you, Ravi. Before we get into the Q&A, I would also request those of you who have not yet joined the WhatsApp cohort, an easy and fast way for us to communicate with you and vice versa is the WhatsApp cohort. Again, the joining link for the WhatsApp cohort has been shared with you by mail. I have not created a wiki for it because it's exclusively only for the 90 teams and the TiE organizing team to be on that cohort. So please do not share it outside your team or outside the top 3 teams that you have. Those of you who are not using WhatsApp yet, maybe you need to download the app. It's a pretty straightforward and easy app to use, and a very simple way to communicate and contact. Nadav, you said that you didn't get any mail. The team leaders, the mail with the WhatsApp group link has been sent to the team leaders as well as to all the teams. So if in case you have not got it, we will check it, Nadav, and we will resend the mail to you. Cool. We are open for Q&A.
But we're waiting, if I could just reinforce, I think we've had some questions on who's supposed to do what. The entire list of calendar items is on the website. We posted that about 5 minutes ago. So whether you caught it or didn't catch it, as well as one more time, Pradeep or Aryan, put today's slides bit.ly link so people can go back and look later at any of the slides. I see Madhav has asked that question here, so you have access to all the slides we showed you today. It's coming up right after one couple more. There you, almost there. There you are. So there's another way of looking at any of the materials. Here's what I would tell you. Many of the events that are planned in the May timeframe, obviously they're targeted to the single winning team per chapter, but because the TiE-Con boot camp, which will be occurring as post R1 on May 1st, will be open to all 90 teams. All of you are welcome. We'll have a registration process, etc. But all these other workshops lead you to where you can take advantage. So part of your application will show that you've been attending, you really are eager, you're coachable, and that will help get a slot perhaps in the ones that will be conducted on May 2nd and 5th with beyond just university students. I know all of this is a lot of info today, so ask us questions, because I will tell you the more you show up, the more you network, the more we will continue to feed your hunger for entrepreneurship.
Thank you, Dr. Lopez.
Abhishek, instead of raising your hand, could you just put your question in and then we'll unmute you as well right away? I see a question from Harry. Demo day is not currently calendared, but it all depends. Demo day will be likely, several months from now. We did one in January. Whether it's in person or not, my guess is it will likely be virtual. Why? Because we can bring to bear investors from all over North America and all over the Indian subcontinent much more easily when it's virtual. So I know it seems like you're eager to meet in person, and I can certainly respect that, but it will likely be virtual. All our current programs we're talking about in April and May are currently calendared to be virtual. Yeah, Salam, I see a great question from you. I'm going to ask, Pradeep, go back to the Blue Book, because I have a feeling that maybe Salam could go through the Blue Book and find, this is really a handbook created for students. Notice the bit.ly link. In a quick read, 15, 20 minutes, it's sort of 99.9% of anything you need to know. It was shared with the chapter leaders, and hopefully if it's something you've seen before, would still be a good reinforcement. So you'll find everything about, where the scoring is, what it means, the judging, et cetera, et cetera. So hopefully that'll help answer it for you. So good question. I think Abhishek had his hand raised, but I'm not sure he got his questions put in chat or whether he's going to come back. Joyce will have a list of all the PDFs of the books. It'll be only available for people who attend. It's part of the attendance at the at both the primer for the startup bootcamp and then the actual boot camps, of which there's a fee. So we're working through how many we can get through. But the one that's a primer on May 1st will be accessible to all our winning teams and runners up. But the list of books, if you work with me offline, if you have questions, just drop an email at any time to university@tie.org. You'll typically get an answer in 12 to 24 hours. Great questions coming up.
Yeah. I have given the option of unmuting yourself, but please do not unmute. Please raise your hands, and when I call out your name, then please unmute. The expectation from the runner-up teams is to join the workshops only, Abhishek. Right now, yes, that's the expectation, to join the workshops and also the boot camps.
No,
the boot camp as in the boot camp primer. I'm sorry, the boot camp primer.
We might have some opportunities to go beyond that, but certainly not the competition. We've always told the chapters, it's the winning team that will be part of what we call mock round. Put that slide up at some point on what the dates are and so on, but I think we've actually given you a link to all the dates and who's going to what. There you go. It says, so this is what is available to all 90 teams, whether you're a winner or a runner-up. Okay. And then for the winners of each chapter, the next slide shows you, and it's also on the website, what's available to them. But if you show up at more than this, we'll try to find ways to connect to you. And certainly your chapter will continue to take you under their wing. So.
Thank you. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can unmute, but please put your hands up and I'll follow the names and you can unmute and ask us questions.
We've got officially 14 more minutes, but at this point, hopefully you've got a good understanding. And our first workshop starts this Saturday, believe it or not, on marketing and scaling your startup, taught by Paul Singh from Silicon Valley, who's the CMO at several SaaS companies, teaches both in California and in northeastern part of the US. You will find all these workshops have been given ratings in the past of 4.5 or greater than 5 on a scale of 5. So again, showing up will get you advantages, and we'll find other ways to continue to give you opportunities, both at your local chapter and the global program, but not at the actual pitching sessions because that's reserved. I'm going to
Abhishek, Dr. Lopez, can I hold you there? Abhishek has his hands up. Abhishek, yes, please go ahead, unmute and ask your question.
Yes,
yes,
many thanks for the insightful session, really helpful. So the question was around is there any fundraising support the runner-ups teams can access maybe beyond the event or maybe before the event?
Dr. Lopez, you want me to answer? You can answer.
When you say fundraising, you're saying fundraising towards your company or fundraising towards our events?
No, fundraising towards the companies.
Yeah, that is really reserved. First of all, the chapters may have an angel program, so that is really done better there. Because being a VC myself and an angel investor, I find it's easier to understand companies locally. We do have the intent to do this thing called Investor Demo Day for the most investable companies, but that will not be till much later this year.
Okay.
This is meant to be non-dilutive funding in the way of prizes to the tune of 50,000 top prize and another 50 for others that are participating. Good question, Abhishek.
And maybe to add to that, Abhishek, some of the mentors and the judges that you will meet along the way in the next 40 odd days would be potential investors themselves. So you kind of have an easy access to them. In a normally ordinary way, you would probably have to connect with their secretary and get an appointment. But here you get them, literally as your private audience. And so reach out. The whole idea in entrepreneurship I have learned is ask and the universe will give you in the form of an investor.
Abhishek, you'll find that Gareth and Lee and others at your chapter, Tony, etc., are all into the mindset of that. So don't give up on the kinds of stuff you're doing locally. We will try to augment it during demo day.
And also to add to Paul and Pradeep said, Abhishek, there are terms that that are there to apply and be qualified for pitching to the investors. So this is open to all the teams. So you will receive a separate email, from us, and then you can go ahead and apply to that if you if you are qualifying for the criteria. Number one. Number two, there are also investors, those who are committed about close to $1 million now, for the TiE University program, and the investment is not reserved for the winners. Okay, the investment is given to the qualified startups. So it's a whole different process. And everybody can go and apply there. So look out for an email, and I think Paul will be sending out one email because we had an investor demo days this year, and we plan to grow that this year as well, coming year.
We're happy to give you an actual example. The second runner-up of our global program, who started a company called Inside Optics. We're writing checks to the tune of $225,000, thanks to being very investable, et cetera, et cetera. So, but that's really something that is second half of the year. So don't look for an email till the competition is well over. That is beyond the competition, another stepping stone. Now you know why we say the competition is just the start of getting to know each other. Okay?
Of course, no, that's what, even just to add on, Pradeep, so that's what we are doing. We are just asking, just to not stop the journey here, being just for the one of the finalists. That's it. So
correct. And showing up and being part of the workshops just helps you get acquainted with us and vice versa. So awesome. Abhi from TiE Atlanta has a question. To the extent, if any of you have gone through the mock round at your local chapter semifinals and finals, the chapters had some online tools where you received feedback soon after the program. We will be doing similar feedback so you can keep progressing, at least for the winners that go through mock round, semifinals, and finals, would also similarly getting feedback, because all those tools have been built by Gordon Grant from TiE Atlanta, who's on our call, and will be used as part of the global program.
Wonderful. So on that note, let me get the horse into the court, so to say, and to hear from the horse's mouth. I have with me Komala Shenna from Sapientiary. This is she represents the winning team from Mysuru last year. She was also part of the global finale cohort last year. Their journey has taken an inflection point very recently. In fact, I was there physically present when one of their mentors from the TiE ecosystem has decided to invest in their company, and they have signed on the dotted line. So, Komala, thank you so much for joining us. I have 2 minutes with you. I would like you to very briefly talk about your experiences and as part of the journey at TiE, and what is it that your friends and peers who are on the call can do to nurture their startup by leveraging on the TiE ecosystem. I'm putting you on spotlight. The next 2 minutes are yours, but you only have 2 minutes.
Hi everyone. So I'm Komala, the founder and CEO of Sapientiary. We're an edtech startup. We're kind of building a Google map for career guidance. So I was actually right in your place a year ago. We participated in TiE Mysuru. We went on from just winning at the local city level to representing Mysuru on the global level. We've won the Social Global Impact Award. I would say, honestly, the mentorship and the community experience that you get with TiE has been so incredible. I really, really have so much, I would say, passion and humbleness to all the mentors who've talked to us, because it's crazy how interested they are in spending time with you and helping you out. So guys, I would say, no matter what, make a lot of use of the network connects that you're getting, whether it's team members, whether it's different teams that you're participating against, or the high net worth individuals who are coming on board. I would say keep them very close to you, because they all are really, really interested to help you out. Like Pradeep said, very, very recently, our mentor, who was assigned to us from the beginning of the competition last year in May, he saw our progress for the past year, and we signed our term sheet for our seed investment just a week ago. So he's seen how we were working, and obviously because of TiE, we were able to make that connection with him. So I think my final advice to all of you guys is be grateful for the community that you're a part of. Make the best use of it as possible, and to be very frank, keep it very simple, guys. Make everything that you're doing as simple as possible for everybody to understand and relate with. So yeah, I think that's for me. Thank you so much, Pradeep, for this, and hi to all the other mentors who I've seen last year. I'm looking forward to coming into the other workshops and seeing the progress, and obviously you guys can ask me any help that you need. I'm super open for helping anybody with anything.
You took 16 seconds more, so I'm going to charge you and send you the invoice in dollars. Thank you so much, Komala, for joining us. It's wonderful to see you smiling, and it's so heartwarming for all of us as entrepreneurs when we see someone whom we saw as a very raw talent now talking to other people and inspiring them. Thank you so much, Komala and Kushal, and keep entrepreneuring, as they say. So let me remove you from Spotlight, but Komala is here. If you have any questions to Komala, any secret questions that you want to ask her as a competitor, which you don't want to ask us, please go ahead and ask her in the chat. And can I request you to also put your LinkedIn ID onto the chat, Komala, so they can ask you questions. So let me remove everyone from Spotlight. Yeah, please, if there are any more questions, please do let us know. You can unmute yourself. You can put your hands up and unmute and ask the question, and we'll have someone answering the question. It could be anything to do with the competition. It could also be anything to do with entrepreneurship in general. No questions. So if there are no questions, then there's one question. Wonderful. Assalamu alaikum, Hassan Kaushif. Can you unmute yourself and ask us a question?
Walaikum salam. Thank you. Great session, by the way. And congratulations to all the teams. You've made it this far. I just had a question. So, can we work on the feedback that we've received after the pitch competition to improve?
I'm going to take
yeah.
a shot at the answer and say, no, how dare you do that? Of course you can. No, that's what feedback is. Feedback's a gift. And I'm assuming you meant at your local competition.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah,
absolutely. Look, you're on a journey. Just take all the feedback that makes sense, apply it. You will get a chance to upload a brand new, if you wanted, an improved version of your business model canvas, your BPS. Or the first version is due to the global program on the 30th of April. But every time you want to improve, please, that's exactly the journey you should be on.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Cool. Umar has a question. Umar Farooq. Please unmute.
So much to the whole
You'll have to put your video on, Umar. We want to see who you are, and then only we will answer questions. The whole idea of TiE is networking, and how do I network with someone I can see?
I'm not.
It's okay, even if you're in a place where which is not great. It's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, please. Thank
No
you
problem.
so much
Go ahead.
for this great session. Definitely, I would like to meet with you somewhere sometime. And actually, I had a question. I got disconnected mid of the session. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Umar.
Hello.
Yes, Umar, we can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you. I can.
That final will be virtual. So what about our final? Will it also be virtual, or it will be in person, physical somewhere?
All sessions are virtual for the program because we're dealing with people from all over the world, and COVID issues are halting us from going to California in May. Okay, in the interest of time, I'm going to close out with officially, but we're going to stay on as long as people want with showing that this session, this is my professor hat, we moved the bell-shaped curve to the right. So before and after, so thank you in that regard. If, there's still a couple of people we got to go help with as to what they're missing and discover they come in on time. As you can see, the bell-shaped curve is now skewed to the right, as it were. So thank you for being great listeners. The one other thing we tell you is we're going to actually in every workshop get on roughly right 30 to 20 minutes in advance of start time. And that'll be another opportunity to ask us what else is going on in the rest of the competition. So don't feel like today's our only opportunity. You've got WhatsApp, you've got a number of other capabilities. So we're officially going to close with 1 minute to spare, and then we'll stay on as long as anybody wants. Ravi and Subbu, I don't know if you all came on or just got spotlighted without asking. So it's just that we want to show people from different parts of the world. And Umar, feel free to stay on if you got more questions. So.
And there's a bonus video that will be played in a few minutes from now. One of the biggest success stories of the last year cohort. He was the runner-up at the global finale. Brian Huang runs a company used to run a company called Survivor. And they were acquired by a larger company. And yesterday we had an interview with him. And one word that he said stuck to me, saying that for the first time in my life after this acquisition, after 2.5 years of being out of college, I don't have to think about tomorrow. What he meant was about the monetary benefit that he got out of being acquired. A refugee family from Vietnam coming into the dream country of the United States. And then the young boy in his final year of college, starting a startup, and in 2.5 years, with great support from members from the TiE family as well, getting acquired and making this statement saying that for the first time in my life, my family and I don't have to worry about tomorrow. So please do stay on if you have time to look at the video. But otherwise, we are right now in the parking lot, open for any questions. Please go ahead. Umar, you still have a question?
Put it into chat because Umar's bandwidth's not great. So I'm going to share something that'll take 45 seconds in the meantime, Pradeep, but we've officially company survivor came into the TiE program.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Dr. Lopez.
I think let's just officially close the meeting and then ask people that want to stay on to watch Brian's story. He was first runner-up last year on a global basis, winner from TiE Dallas. You heard Sepenturi also, and how we continue to stay in touch with them. So we're going to play that while we watch any chat video of chat items. And thanks all for spending an hour and a quarter with us. Brian, tell us about your company Survivor as you came into the TiE program.
Yeah, absolutely. So my company is Survivor. We specialize in virtual reality training for police and military. So you can kind of imagine you put on a virtual reality headset and we instantly transport you to a variety of different high pressure dynamic environments, including everything from traffic stops to domestic violence situations to active shooters in schools. So everything in between, and we really emphasize communication. So how do you empathize with people? How do you de-escalate instead of always having to resort to force immediately? And you know, with the goal of we just want everybody in our communities to go home at night.
So who was your customer and at the time, or at least I know we're about to talk about a new chapter for Survivor, but who was your customer at the time of the TiE program and who bought your product? What kind of revenues did you have?
We sold simulators to law enforcement and military agencies across 10 states. So this included entities, you know, from local city-based police departments to state sheriff's offices to we had universities, private security, military, like we had the Air Force, we had the Department of Homeland Security. So we had an interesting mix of customers and leading up.
Prashant, I see your hands raised. Do you want to ask a question? You can
yeah.
Yes, Prashant.
Yeah, Pradeep. So I wanted to ask how. Let's suppose I'm creating a product here, but I want to launch it to markets like US. So how, what can I expect? You know, what kind of mentorship?
Right. So one of the first workshops is about marketing and getting your product to the market by Dr. Paul Singh, a very established trainer and speaker on marketing aspects. That's part one. Part two, like we said, the whole idea of TiE is we are a network of entrepreneurs. So you connect with one person, let's say Prashant. Which chapter are you from, Prashant?
TiE Surat.
Surat. Okay. So let's say you reach out to someone, let's say Rajesh Chhajer at Surat, and tell him that you need to kind of get some help setting up your office in Houston. And Rajesh will reach out to Ravi Brahmbhatt, who's from Houston, and connect both of you probably through LinkedIn or a WhatsApp or a mail. And that's how you build. So there's no formal way in which we are going to be helping you doing your business. The way we are going to be helping you is by opening up these networks and access to people who could be taking you forward. Does it answer your question?
Yeah, Pradeep.
Thank you. So let's continue the video.
To our acquisition. We were hitting at about 7 figures in revenue annually.
So just to start the conversation about the TiE part before this new chapter, I know you ended up, congratulations, as being the #1 runner-up worldwide, having been representing the top team from TiE Dallas in Texas. But at that particular time, what made you join the TiE Dallas University program? And what were the 1 or 2 aha moments at the local level before we talk about the global level?
So one of our angel investors was the champion for TiE Dallas. So he brought me in. At that point, we had done a fairly good number of pitch competitions already, and we were kind of past that stage. And so, if just being open, I think that my first reaction was, no, not another one. But you know, I have a good relationship with him, and he really recommended the TiE program. So I said, okay, at the very least, I'll do it for you. And so we got in, and instantly, it didn't take long for me to realize that it's not just an ordinary pitch competition. I think that TiE invests so much into making this a longer journey of learning and discovery for the participants. And so, you know, the pitch competition's at the end, but before that, you have mentorship, you have workshops that are actually really good, a lot better than what I'm used to. And so, so I walked away.
University program.
I think I kind of find the highlights from that.
Yeah, I think my biggest impression from the cohort was just the sheer diversity in both ideas and the teams themselves. There were a lot of really strong pitches there. I was actually kind of nervous going into the competition. You know, we're talking. There are people besides us who've won other competitions and who has impressive traction. And so, you know, I think it was an honor to be among them. I learned a lot from the way that they've developed their pitch. But there's just a really good camaraderie between everyone. I think everyone had a good time. And I think one of the good things about the workshops was, you know, they tended to be interactive as well. So it's not just a simple straight lecture from one side to another. It's kind of all this intermingled back and forth. And so it allows us to draw on each other's experiences and really make this a deeper learning experience.
If you were to meet your younger brother or a cousin on the street and were to tell him or her about TiE University, what would you say?
I would say that if, regardless of what stage you're in, whether you're at the very beginning, you're maybe ideation, or maybe you already have a product and it has customers and revenue and it's already off the ground, you're trying to scale. I'd say, regardless of that, you will probably still walk away from TiE with a much broader knowledge base than you thought possible. Because, you know, going in, I was a little close-minded. I'll admit that. I thought we've gone through so many pitch competitions. The product is off the ground. What more is there to learn? And this is what I'll still tell students today when I go and speak and mentor, is that every single time I've thought that, including at TiE, I just get proven wrong. I just have someone like Pradeep listen to my pitch and tear it down and build it back up all over again. It always happens. And so I'd say, you know, keep an open mind, be humble and you know, listen to the perspectives of everyone involved. There's a lot to learn. I think TiE, especially compared to other programs I've seen and been a part of, does a really good job of bringing those insights in and really transforming your pitch.
Wow, awesome. If there were one or two things you had to tell students who are starting their last few weeks at the global level now, they've competed and been very successful at their local competition level, what would be the one or two, I call them words of wisdoms or do's or don'ts, that you would tell them, knowing what you know from a year ago?
It's important to realize that the connections you make are equally, if not more important. So, you know, with the both of you and the judges and all the different mentors that the participants will be exposed to, I think it's really important to really make the most of this opportunity, make those connections and maintain them after the fact too, because, you know, that's just the thing. If you can help them, then great, but you never know where these things will go, what kind of doors they'll open, you know, potential investors, partners, acquirers, and whatnot. So I think, and at the very least, there's someone to learn from to help you move faster and avoid pitfalls along the way. So I think that's really important. Just be very intentional about the relationships that you build and maintain during the program. That's probably the most important thing.
Cool. Sana, Assalamu alaikum. Yes, Sana. Yeah, Sana, can you unmute yourself and ask us the question that you wanted to ask?
Assalamu
Yes,
alaikum.
Sana.
Could you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
So my question so far is that, do the runner-ups gonna get the opportunity to be the part of that session and getting the ideas only to like polish their business models, right? Like, are we gonna get just the opportunity to polish our business models to be the part of that session?
So yes. So if I get your question right, yes, you will not pitch at the global competition, but you will be a part of this whole journey for the next 45 odd days, where you can work with both the mentors across the globe as well as your peers in other teams, and to see if you can, to use your own words, to polish the deck that you have, to strengthen your business model, to see if there are some loopholes which could be plugged in by some other team which is working on something that could be supplementary to your business. Those are the things that can happen. The opportunities are infinite, Sana. It's up to you to open up and ask and get more.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Soumya from TiE-U.
Hi, Pradeep. Hi, Pradeep. Good to see you again. So my question is about, you mentioned that 30th April is the last day to update your business model canvas and your business plan. So just wanted to understand that, would we have somebody who will help us out to sort of understand how we can update that from a global standpoint? Because at this point, we've been, pitching and we've been submitting at the regional level, at the chapter level. So just want to understand how do we get along? Like, would we have somebody to help us to understand if that we can sort of update that from a global standpoint? Yeah, that's my question.
Absolutely. I'll answer with one anecdote, Soumya, and then I'll give it to probably Subbu, Dr. Lopez, and Ravi Brahmbhatt to also answer that question. The anecdote is from the boy whom you just heard, right? Brian from Dallas. So one of the things that happened is, when Brian and I were working on his deck, I asked him some questions that he had never imagined someone would ask him, because I was looking at it from the perspective of an Indian for whom weapons and guns are not a normal part of her life, right? So these insights you get because you are accessing someone else from a different geography and trying to understand the business from his perspective. So you will get insights from, let's say, Dr. Lopez in Atlanta or Craig in New York, who's a pilot, who might poke in questions into your business model. So over the next 30 days, the ideal scenario is your business model canvas goes into 30 iterations by the time you submit, and that's the benefit that you will get. But it's not as if someone will specifically call you for a meeting and say that, hey, I want to help you with the business model. You will have to probably send a mail, and then we will connect people with. And as part of the workshops, there will be activities, so you will kind of be able to bounce in with the facilitators of the workshops as well. Anything to add, Subbu, Dr. Lopez, Soumya? I hope that answers your question broadly.
Oh, yes, it does. Thank you.
And if you go to the website, we've had workshops already conducted. They're all recorded. I think these both are incredibly useful for you to do, so you can pick them up. They got taught in Jan-Feb. If your chapter did not offer them, here's a way to watch them and get better. And we also asked you, as part of the survey question, Soumya, have you filled out the survey that was due by, I think, today?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So in there, depending on what you answer to your question of, are you looking to be mentored outside of your local chapter, we can respond. But here's a great one on your business model canvas done by Ajay from Pune, I believe. Just very, very useful.
It's there on the YouTube. And before I move on to Harry's question, my experience in the last 2.5, 3 years with students teams has been that every winning business model canvas has gone through at least 6 iterations over the period of the 35 odd days, and every pitch deck goes through 10 iterations over the period of 30 odd days. So keep that as the rule of thumb, Soumya. Yeah.
Okay.
Subbu, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, just wanted to add, not only to Soumya and everyone. So these days, you have people around the globe available to mentor you. Unless you ask, no one will be able to. And in Telugu, there is a proverb, right? Unless you ask, your mother also will never serve a lunch for you, right? So keep asking, and don't even hesitate to ask anything. That is what is my suggestion and a request.
Wonderful. Thank you so
Be
much.
very,
Yes.
and be very specific in your ask. Just say, I want to be mentored, doesn't connect you with the right person. But if you say, I want to be connected and mentored on X or Y or Z, we'll help you and you will do that.
And if you're asking for money, please ask some for me as well. Harry? Yes, Harry from TiE, Oregon.
Hi, do you know of any good mentors for EdTech startup? And if so, I would love to be connected with them.
If you can specify what area of EdTech would you really need mentorship on? Because that's kind of very broad thing when you say EdTech.
Support for those with ADHD and autism in particular.
Okay.
Either that or learning management integration. So like Canvas, Blackboard, stuff like that.
Sure. Harry, if you start out by connecting with both David Smith and with Carrie Naoni at your local chapter, we have several, we call them SIG groups, special interest groups. There's one in education tech that has, I think, north of 100 members, so they can then use that or we'll help them accordingly.
Thank you.
Harry, you should also connect with me on LinkedIn.
Oh, yeah.
I'm happy to help there as well.
And Ravi happens to be at Houston Community College in the area of student innovation and a number of things. So Ravi Brahmbat, spelled much like it looks. So we call him Ravi B. Anyway, good question, Harry. We're here to help.
Oh. Any other question before I get into my DJ mode?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Abhishek. Hari, is that your second question or you just didn't get your hand down? Okay, Abhishek.
Yeah, sorry for asking so many questions.
No, ask as many questions as possible. When you ask questions, then we are sure that there's something happening. When you don't ask, that's when we are worried.
No, the question is like, I have actually filled up the form and there I have mentioned like we need some support and coaching around the fundraising, because we have raised around 100K plus grant funding, and through that we did the product market fit validation, digital testing, etc. But we need to take the journey forward to like close our seed funding. And for that, like we are like actually trying all the avenues, be that like liquidation through grant, etc. So if we can get any support around that. And our product is a blockchain-based privacy platform for enterprise SaaS customers. So this is a like very short is our product is all about. So if you can get any support around like how we can get fundraising, how we can get any pilot customer onboarded for that. Anyways, so that would be really helpful.
Sure, Abhishek. Dr. Lopez, you're on mute.
This particular session, it turns out I know JP very well. I'm on the board of a fintech company, but he's run a hedge fund, very, very familiar global hedge fund. So that would be a good workshop to come to. You get the basics and maybe a little more. I will tell you that fundraising, while global, is really a local matter. I will tell you, for me to write a check in British pounds, I need to understand that company much better. If you were raising money in the US, clearly we could help you. So that's why I say we've got to start with you reaching out to Lee and Gareth and Anne and so on, and then we'll help them in addition.
Of course. And we are actually exploring US market because we've been selected for Enrich as well. So through that channel, we are exploring the US market, and if there is any potential opportunity, probably we can leverage. We are exploring that opportunity as well.
Show up early and stay late, and that way JP, who does ran a global hedge fund, might give you some pointers. I just had a UK founder come here, pitch for about 3 days at different parts of our market through a Delaware corp. So that's a very detailed question. It's not a short one, but we're going to figure it out. But in that regard, I would say start with a core of, and by the way, the best way to get people to give you a check is go get customers. They are your best due diligence writers, right? They know your product. So good luck.
Yes. Thanks, Wal.
I don't know if Harry has a new question or not.
No, Harry's hands are down.
Okay.
So, no more questions? Wonderful. Raman and Lakshman, I can see you on the screen. You're the only ones with the video on. So So opportunity knocks when your video is on. So Raman and Lakshman, why don't you also share with us your journey? Very interesting team. They are from a city that's 250 kilometers away from me, but they are in a city where, staying in a city which is like around 1,500 kilometers away from me. And they have participated in the pitch competition in a city that is 3,500 kilometers away from me. So that's like a wide open journey. So Raman and Lakshman, why don't you tell us what you do as a business, and then I'll move to Sana's question.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Actually, it's a pleasure to be a part of this.
For all of you who are confused, it's not the video being reflected twice. I think they're twins, so there are two people on the call. Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, myself, Raman. He's a Lakshmanan. We both are from Backyard Creators. So Backyard Creators is a startup focusing on medical devices, mainly focusing on assistive tech. So what we are building is a world first aggressive non-surgical hearing device, which totally avoiding an implantation surgery for hearing loss. Actually, we are very happy to be a part of TiE program. Especially, we have already got a lot of mentoring, which will help us to fine-tune our pitch deck. We are still looking forward to learn more from this program in upcoming mentoring sessions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Raman Lakshman. Now the world has heard you loud and clear, and I hope you will have investors coming your way. Sana? So
Yes,
the
sir.
moment I said opportunity knocks when videos are on, Aisha has put her video on. So Aisha Agarwal, I'll come back to you once I am done with Sana. Yes, Sana.
Sir, actually, I'm the first runner-up of Pakistan. So my question is like, would you people provide us the opportunity to reach the investors who could finance or work, or even the mentors, like who could help us with the proper guideline to like improve our work plan and the ideas?
Dr. Pesh, you would like to take that?
I think I'm going to ask Subbu or Vivek if they're on, because this is more of a question coming from the India subcontinent, and I believe we've got some work and partnership with the TiE India Angels. So Subbu or Vivek, if you're on, if you take that one.
Yeah, I mean, see, as you said, basically the opportunities are plenty. The support will come to you, and TiE itself has investment possibilities through TiE Angels. In the overall exercise, we would suggest you to come out very clearly, as Paul mentioned a while before, specifics about what you need and how you are looking at it. Yes, we are there. And while raising the money also, as Pradeep is repeatedly saying about the mentor network, we are all here to listen to you people, understand and guide you through the journey, not just for the raising money, but also to get you ready to raise money and also use the money properly later stages. That's what I can say.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Cool. And Sana, you are in a very unique position, being from Pakistan. Is that you on your shoulders rest the hopes of an entire country, unlike all the other teams where there are 20 other teams from the same country, and in the US and India as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely.
So, go for it.
Yes, sir. Definitely, it's our duty to like represent ourselves in a good or better way as much as we can. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Cool. Yes, Ms. Aisha Agarwal, opportunity knocks when you put your video on. So here's your 30 seconds to tell us about your startup and to see if you can get some people interested in your company.
All right, thank you so much, sir. So basically, I'm Aisha Agarwal and I'm from Project Lifafa. And it's an honor to say or share that we were in an ideation stage when we started up with, and now we are at a pilot stage and we have already got the customers for us. So basically our project is about seed papers that gives a life cycle or adds a life cycle to the plants and a sustainable business to work on with. So yeah, that's our business and that's my 30 seconds for us.
Wonderful, wonderful. So we both can be pen friends and then use your envelopes to send each other snail mail, so to say.
Definitely, sir.
Cool.
Aisha, what chapter are you from? You didn't probably start at the beginning. Just add that to your name, please, for your reading. Thank you.
She's from Delhi, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, NCI.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Nadav, we have noted down your query about not getting the mail. If you don't mind, can you also put your email ID on the chat so we can make sure that we send you? I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Nadav Porat.
Yeah, Nadav. Thank you very
Nadav,
much.
welcome.
Yes, thank you.